So for those of you who don't really know, Warzone 2 is not in the best state at the moment. Oh, hello. You know, all you gotta do is look at the viewership on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook, whatever you want. It uses your metric, and the view count is at an all-time low for Warzone 2, especially compared to Warzone 1. And there's a few reasons for that, really. There seems to be a disconnect between what the devs or the people above making the decisions want and what the player base actually want. And it's quite apparent due to a few changes that they've made in this game compared to Warzone 1 that has kind of caused this downfall in the viewership. Now, this video isn't to just harp on about the obvious. I don't want to go on about, you know, oh, Ricochet anti-cheat needs to be better. We all know that there's an issue with cheaters on the game. It is what it is. At this point, we kind of just got to accept it and just hope they actually pull the finger out their ass and Ricochet actually becomes much more useful to the integrity of the game. So with that being said, I have a few little ideas. I kind of just want to ramble off to you today of what I think would at least improve the state of the game. I'm not saying it would fix it, and please don't misunderstand as well. I understand why certain changes were made to this game, and if I do want to touch on them, I will, well, still talk about them regardless of if I agree with the change or just understand why that change was made in the first place. So the first thing I want to touch on is the actual movement in the game itself. And when I say movement, I don't entirely mean slide cancelling. Although I personally would prefer slide cancelling to be back in this game, I, again, understand why the change was made for that. And I've got no issue with slide cancelling not being in the game, though I personally would prefer it to be. I get why they've removed it. It was essentially a movement bug. Well, it does arguably reduce the skill gap in the game. We can't deny that. Regardless of where you sit on if it should be in the game or not, we all know that that's what it does. So yeah, when I mean the movement, I essentially mean a couple of things. So one is the movement speed itself. Even with the submachine guns in this game, the movement is just not there. If you've gone back to Caldera lately, you'll notice that the base movement speed feels a lot faster on that game. Now, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just due to the slide cancel element, which makes it feel faster on that game compared to this. But there needs to be a give and take. If you're removing slide cancelling from the game, then the base movement needs to be faster. Does anyone remember how fast Strafing used to be back in the day? Like, Strafing, if you remember the Maddox back in Black Ops 4, that was a great example. Obviously, Black Ops 2 had amazing strafe speed as well. On this game, even with the submachine guns, you know, the moment you shoot, it's sort of like you're stuck in the mud. Where's this guy gone? Wait. Oh my god, he was down there the whole time. Wait, does he there the whole time? Oh my days. So just to see a base movement speed increase as a whole would be nice. It would just allow for quicker mobility around the map, and it would just implement better outplayability factors where movement is a key factor. Now, on top of base movement speed, it would also be nice to see a decrease in the overall weapon handling time. So how quick it is to handle the weapons, you know, your general ADS speed, your spin to fire speed, your weapon draw when you pull it up. Just a decrease in the overall time of that, just so it's a little bit quicker to handle your weapon. So everything's just a little bit faster. Now, I'm not talking about drastic increases. At the end of the day, they want it to be a more methodical game. They want you to be smart with the choice you make. But just building in or improving that handling will allow for more aggressive playstyles. It will allow for people to swap weapon in a fight. Allow for 1v2 situations, 1v3, 1v4, etc. So what we've got at the moment, which there is not really... There is an outplayability factor in Warzone still, don't get me wrong. But it's not like how it used to be, you know. You don't have amps like you do in Warzone 1. You don't have your slide cancelling. There's a lot of skill gap that isn't in this game. And I feel like just bringing the weapon handling just to be a bit more competitive compared to the original Warzone would just allow some of that to come back. Just to give the higher skill players a chance to be a bit more aggressive, to be a bit quicker. To further add on to the movements, although this is going to be a separate category, is bunny hopping. So if we bunny hop in this game, your second bunny hop, you ain't moving. There isn't the ability to jump out on opponents to, you know, get around someone, break a camera if needed. And when you can't B-hop and there's no strafe speed, you're essentially in a gunfight against somebody else where you're both just stuck in the mud. hoping your gun kills quicker. And it shouldn't be a battle of who has a quicker killing gun. It should be a battle of, well, you know, who's the better player. So bringing B-hops back, or just a better bunny hop than what we've got at the moment, would also be another nice change. Again, like I said, this does tie into movement. I'm just trying to get some examples for you now, but it's very static. It's very sluggish. Oops, did not mean to call that in. Guess we're going with the chopper gunner now. Now, on top of that is the slide mechanic. So at the moment, the sliding in this game is borderline useless. Or you have your dolphin dive, you know, you can use that to get into cover. You don't really use it to outplay in a gunfight as much as just to save yourself. And the slide cancelling is pretty naff. You know, you go for a slide on someone, that's it. You can't shoot until you come out of it. You know, I'm holding down that trigger straight away. And there is stats on this game for weapon slide hip fire accuracy. So it looks like there was something that was an idea that was in the works at least. I'm not saying with the slides for you to, you know, like I said, slide cancel. But even just the ability to hit fire while sliding would certainly bring an extra, like, look, I couldn't shoot then at all. I was holding onto the trigger the whole time. Bringing in the ability to slide and shoot at the same time will definitely add a element to a gunfight that is somewhat missing at the moment. I should be able to shoot as I slide around the corner or as I slide into an enemy. I shouldn't be penalised for using a mechanic that the game has given me. Like I said, at the moment, it's just completely useless movement mechanic. And you might as well not have it in the game with how useless it is. So now I just want to move on to the next thing. The next thing is the TTK. So yeah, before I move on to TTK, I just want to do my final thoughts on the movement. And it feels like at the moment they're just the devs, the people who make the decisions, are just trying to fit everyone in the same box, in the same niche. This is how we want you to play. Now, if you remember when this game first came out, well, actually it was before the release of multiplayer, they stated all playstyles will be rewarded, there'll be drawbacks, benefits to each one. But regardless if you're in multiplayer or you're playing Warzone, it feels like the only reward currently is the Sentinel playstyle, as they call it, or the camping playstyle. What is this? You good, bro? Yeah, it feels like they're just trying to fit every player in the same box, which is not good. It's basically like they're saying a big, fuck you, this is how we want you to play, don't like it, leave. And players are leaving. Views are down. Player counts are down. They're getting what they asked. They're shooting themselves in the foot with a game that could have been amazing. It could have been the best game on the market, but right now it's just complete and utter shambles of a game. Where's this guy? But yeah, TTK. TTK in Warzone is way too fast. Way too fast. They increased the TTK in Warzone 1 from community feedback to give people chances of doing extra in a gunfight. And they removed that. They took it, the feedback, ran with it, and then took it out in the next title. There's no logic to that in my eyes. So yeah, point number 2 is TTK. Really simple fix. Give us an extra 50 health base. That's it. It's nice and simple. TTK will be increased. You ain't going to get insta-beamed. You're going to have a chance to get away to outplay your opponent. The third point I want to make is the mobility around the map. So if you remember in Warzone 1, they implemented a fantastic feature called redeploy balloons. Obviously, they had fixed ones on the map, and then they had ones you could throw out and put whatever you wanted. That was a fantastic feature. I don't think anyone complained about that feature. And then, once again, it was removed from this title. Another fantastic feature that they added in Warzone 1 and took out. So, yeah. The ability to get around the map, especially on the big map, it needs to be better. Obviously, they've added redeploys to Resurgence. It needs to come into big map. Simple as that. Fixed points around the map and portable ones that you can throw out when and where needed. I mean, I don't even know I got killed by them, but that just felt the same as Warzone to me. Another point, nice and simple, is the change to the reload cancel. It's been a while. People are used to it now. You should be able to reload cancel if you need to. You know, if you're in a gunfight, you're fighting. You go to reload, someone else sneaks up on you. You're able to cancel that reload, get the kill. Not have this weird situation where you're constantly stuck in and out of a reload cycle, because it's not allowing you to get that cancellation that you need. A simple thing, and they fixed what wasn't broken. I don't know who made that decision. Weird decision in my eyes. And then I would say as well, I don't know how they would remove this because it's part of how the map plays. But it's simply, why is the AI in this map? What is this kid doing? Who thought they're going to add in AIs to a Warzone Battle Royale was a smart idea that everyone would be on board with? I don't think you can ever get rid of AI though, because then how are you going to work black sites? If anyone has ideas, leave it in the comments, because I don't know. I know it's a bad idea. I don't know how they would fix it without removing black sites at this point. Look guys, if you do enjoy this video, if you think any points made were valid, or if you've got any ideas yourself of how this game could be made better, please hit the like button. Comment below your ideas if you agree with anything I've said, if you disagree, if there's anything you think I've missed that needs to be implemented to make the game great again. You know, make sure you follow me on Kick if you haven't already. Link is in the description and comments. That's where I do go live, where I play mainly Warzone, play other games on occasion as well. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments though. I've spoke to a few creators what they think. We're all kind of on the same boat. Other people may not get to play for as many hours a day as the people I speak to. It'd be nice to hear what the other side of the coin thinks. For the people who don't only get up to play an hour a day at most, you know, do you prefer how it is? Is there still things you'd like to see changed? Do you think the game's perfect how it is? Just let me know. You know, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. A lot of this is subjective. The only objective, like, factual things for this video is the fact viewership's down. Player counts as a whole is down. You know, we can argue, is that because of the changes made compared to Warzone 1? We can argue, is it because there's no more lockdown? There's other factors at play, but again, still hearing your opinion on it is still valid. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end this here. I appreciate everyone who dropped in and listened. I'll catch you next time.